This conference will now be recorded.
Hello guys, welcome to Kumar Consulting. So guys, here this is our first practical session. Before that, we have seen like introduction part and all, and certain things theoretically. What is this SAP all about, right? And the types of project and other things. Now, so here, if you talk about the practical session, what exactly we are going to do, guys? So now we are going to do several configurations. Okay, in SAP we are going to do the configurations. What is this configurations? What exactly we are going to do? What exactly we are going to configure, right? So we'll see these things in this session along with the logic. Now, so if you talk about enterprise structure, guys, look at here. Now, enterprise structure represents the business structure of a particular organizations. In the sense, you can see the hierarchy of a particular organization, right? At top level, then after, right? So a kind of hierarchy will be there. I'll show you here itself in the next slide. Now, SAP enterprise structure is the initial step of your implementations. Whenever we are going to implement this SAP, guys, always the implementations will always start from enterprise structure itself. Okay, enterprise structure itself, the implementation is always going to be started from enterprise structure itself. This logic you will come to know not in a single session, guys. Multiple sessions will come into picture one by one. Some of the things you will be able to understand instantly right away. Some of the things you are going to understand next session, next sessions, because dependencies will be there, right? So don't worry, everything is going to be explained. Now, if you talk about, like here I have quoted some example of organizational units, so-called enterprise structure, either enterprise structure or organizational structure or organizational units, all are same. So now here example of organizational units are like company code, business area, sales organizations, then we are having purchase organizations, plant, profit center, cost center, and multiple others also will be there. So here whatever this organizational unit I have quoted here, guys, right, these all it's some example I have given. So these organizational units belongs to not only from finance module, even from other modules also. Like if you talk about sales organizations, that is belongs to sales and distribution. Likewise, if you talk about purchase organizations, plants, that belongs to where? That belongs to your what to say, MM module, material management module, right? So now every module, whichever modules are going to be configured, it is going to be configured from, configurations are going to happen from enterprise structure itself. Now, so here enterprise structure or organizational structure itself. Now, so in, let's suppose in finance module, what should be our enterprise structure, from where we are going to start our configurations and all, right? Now I'll tell you. Say for example, okay, so now what for we are going to do this implementations, right? That I'll explain. Now say for example, forget about this ERP right now. Okay, say for example there is no ERP in Tata Motor. So if there is no ERP in Tata Motor, then Tata Motor, how it is, how they are going to perform their entire activities, right? What is the, like, what is the use of ERP, guys? Somebody just tell me, because in the very first session I told you guys what exactly we are going to do with the help of this ERP. Tell me, anyone?
To use the resources like man and machine in proper way, in planning way.
Okay, okay, any other things? Anybody want to add anything in that? Okay, so guys, whenever I ask something, try to contribute something, no matter whether it is right or wrong, whatever it is, but it is a kind of platform where like it's a kind of like improvement platform itself. Like if you're saying something, then this is how you guys are going to be like bit confident, right? Now So here I told you enterprise structure means what is the, sorry, I'm talking about ERP. So what is the use of ERP is already like the very first lesson itself we have explained. Somebody has replied through message also. Nikhil is saying that integrations companies activity. It's not going to clarify actually. Now integrations companies activity. I'll tell you guys. ERP means what? Now say for example, if uh, talk about like 40 years back, 50 years back, 60 years back, right? So computerization in the sense like computer was not prevalent in those era, right? So how the companies used to manage their all the transactions. If you talk about Tata Motor, Tata Group is having like Tata Motor, Tata Steel. These all companies are there in the market for like past 50 years, 60 years, 40 years, right? So in those days when the computers were not there in the market, then how the companies they used to manage their transactions and all, right? So they used to manage the transactions in the sense all the transactions were getting recorded manually, purchase related transactions, right? How it is going to be recorded? So they are going to be, it is going to be recorded in purchase registers. Purchase register, right? Now, likewise, sales related transactions are going to be recorded where it is going to be recorded into sales registers, right? Let's suppose multiple different kind of registers are going to be maintained. So here manual activities are more, guys. Manual activities are more. Why? Because let's suppose if they have to prepare the reports and all, reports are also getting prepared manually, right? So this is called like, let's suppose sales register. Okay. So now sales register, purchase registers. So every transactions were getting recorded manually, right? Petty cash or whatever the transactions are there, everything is going to be recorded manually in different registers and the reports are getting prepared manually. Now, so if they are going to record the transactions, let's suppose purchase registers. Okay. Now, say for example, there is, okay. So here on purchase, this is the purchase registers. On this register, multiple other informations also will be there, right? This purchase registers belongs to like, let's suppose, which subsidiary. Subsidiary in the sense like, let's suppose, so Tata Motor is there, Tata Steel is there, so it is going to be specified like belongs to which organizations. So it is for Tata Motor, right? Tata Motor. Tata Motor is what? A subsidiary of Tata Group. Subsidiary of Tata Group. I'm just writing in shortcut, right? These all details are going to be specified on the very first page itself. This is how people will come to know, okay, this is a purchase registers, right? And that too for Tata Motor. Okay, now subsidiary of, okay guys, I'll have to close this WhatsApp or else message will come and it is going to disturb us. Okay, so now here, apart from this, multiple other informations also will be there, guys. Now, again, say for example, whether it is sales, purchase, whatever it is, right? Now, I'll just quote, the better example will be, okay, I will make this sales register here. Then I'm going to add some more things. Okay, I'll make it like purchase registers. Okay, so here sales registers, purchase register. Now, okay, so okay, so now here, this is for Tata Motors, subsidiary of Tata Group. Apart from this, guys, just give me a second. Somebody is knocking the door. Okay, sorry guys, actually somebody was there on the door. Now, so we are talking about, now here let's suppose, so they are maintaining different registers. Now, so here on the first page itself, multiple details will be there, like this is sales register, and that too for Tata Motor, subsidiary of Tata Group, right? Now, further, let's suppose if you talk about the sales of Tata Motor, right? Now, so they are having like, if you talk about the revenue, right? Revenue is getting generated from like, they're having like manufacturing units, of course it is there, and even they're having service units also. So from manufacturing unit, also revenues in the sense like vehicles are going to be manufactured and the revenue is getting generated. Apart from this, they're having like, let's suppose service units, service centers also. From there also revenue is getting generated. So now here, if it is going to be segregated, like let's suppose Tata Motor want to see, okay, how much revenue we have generated from manufacturing unit, how much revenue we have generated from service unit, how it is going to happen, guys? Then again, separate registers are supposed to be maintained. Now I'll just do one thing. So here itself, just copy and paste it. So now here I'll make it. So this is for, let's suppose this register is for manufacturing unit, right? And this is for, again, a separate register will be there, and that is for service unit. Service unit, right? Now, then again, some more details are required. Okay, some more details are required. Like let's suppose, okay, this registers belongs to which financial year, right? So let's suppose 2019, 20, 2021, right? Or else like 50 years back, different financial year will be there. We are talking about like current itself. So let's suppose, so now here 2020. Generally, it is going to be called like 2021, right? Now, because in that also there is logic, guys, that is going to be explained later. Like simply, I'm going to specify 2020 itself, right? Once I start a financial year, fiscal year variant, there we are going to discuss these things in details. Okay, so let's suppose these things are going to be specified again in that particular financial year, for which period, in the sense for which month this registers, because a single registers is not going to be used for like whole year, guys, right? Because several transactions are taking place. So every month, let's suppose, so this is called period. You say period or month, both are same. So now for which period, in the sense for which month, so this is belongs to, let's suppose, June month. Okay, so these are the informations will be there on the very first page itself, right? This is how what will happen if somebody is going to record the transactions. In the similar way, even will be having, we are having, okay, so these things are going to be specified here. Okay, now, so this is how what is happening if somebody is going to, let's suppose if somebody is going to record our transactions, if someone is going to record the transactions, then what will happen? They're going to find out the appropriate register. That too, let's suppose for, if it is like for Tata Motor, again the question is for which unit, manufacturing unit or service unit, right? Again, we got the answer manufacturing unit. For which fiscal year, for which financial year, we got the answers 2020, right? Again, the next question is for which period, for which month. So whether it is June, July, or else like April, May, whatever it is. So this is how they are going to take out the appropriate register, and in that the transaction is going to be entered. Now, so now what is happening, guys? Those days are gone, and now like we are in computer era, and here like, so once the computerization came, like computer came into market and all, then whatever the physical data were there, right, like physical, this all transactions were being entered physically, right? So the physical register converted into your digital register, in the sense the same transactions which is going to be recorded here physically in a physical registers, now it is going to record it in the computers. But computer means what? Are we going to record these transactions in what to say Excel sheet? Are we going to maintain these transactions in WordPad or Notepad or somewhere? No. So for that, what is happening, guys? In order to record these transactions, because computer came into market, so multiple experiments started. So in order to record these transactions, whatever transactions were being recorded earlier in different registers, now what is happening, guys? Then people started developing a kind of software. These softwares were getting installed in the computer, right? So these softwares are called ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. So this whatever ERPs are there, guys, these ERPs are working as a digital register. The same transactions which were recorded physically, now it is going to be recorded into systems with the help of ERP. And what is the benefit of ERP, guys? It has simplified our entire activities, in the sense earlier lots of time it was getting, it was consuming lots of time, like daily basis, whatever transactions are there, it is getting recorded. But if you have to prepare the report, right? So how the reports are going to be prepared, guys? Now let's suppose if you have to calculate, okay, how much total revenue got generated in a particular quarter, then what will happen? Particular quarter means, and that too for manufacturing unit under Tata Motor. Then what will happen? First of all, so particular quarter means, let's suppose first quarter is going to be started from, let's suppose, April, May and June. So three registers supposed to be. So now what is happening? Then we have to consolidate the total whatever the revenue got generated in like April, May and June. So manually this consolidation is going to happen, guys, right? It is going to take some time. Apart from this, now if there is a requirement that what is the total revenue got generated for service, so again for first quarter, again the consolidation is going to happen, guys. Now if at this level, Tata Motor level, if it is going to be calculated, then for manufacturing unit, all three registers consolidated figure, and plus this one also, service unit also consolidated figure. At group level, if somebody is going to see the report like Tata Group means what? So whatever subsidiaries are there, Tata Motor plus Tata Steel plus Tata Chemical plus Tata Hotel Group, or whatever the other subsidiaries are there, right? So now how much time it is going to take? Everything is going to happen manually itself, right? But here, if talk about the preparation of reports in ERP, it's going to happen. It is going to be generated in a fraction of second. Why? Because once we enter the transactions here in the ERP, in the sense in software, then what is happening, guys? In background, multiple reports are getting updated automatically. Okay, multiple reports are getting updated automatically, and here, so whatever reports are required, guys, instantly people will be able to view the reports, right? Now, so that is why I'm saying, like, whatever the physical registers are there, that is converted into digital registers. Okay, so it means whatever transactions, now if you talk about the activities, if you talk about the work, whatever the activities, whatever the works which used to happen 100 years back, even the same activities are happening right now also, right? Account payable, account receivable, GL, general ledger. If you talk about trial balance, if you talk about like P&L statement, if you talk about balance sheet, it used to, it was there earlier also, 50 years back also, 70 years back also, 80 years back also, right? And right now also it is there. The only thing is, earlier everything was happening manually. Now what is happening, guys? Very little things we are going to perform manually, and most of the things are going to be given by this ERP, like we are going to get in the form of output, right? So outputs are going to be given by this ERP automatically. So there is no change in terms of processes. Processes means, like if you talk about, like, there is a process called depreciation. So whatever the company's physical assets are there, that is going to be depreciated, right? Depreciated means if the asset value is, let's suppose, 1,000 rupees. Okay, next year, let's suppose 10% fixed depreciation is there. So it means next year the asset value is going to be 900, because 100 rupees we have reduced the value, 100 rupees, so it become 900. Again next year, again it is going to be reduced 100 rupees, so it is going to be 800, right? This is how the value will keep on depreciating. So this depreciation, if you talk about the depreciation calculation, it was there earlier also and it is there right now also, right? There is no change in terms of like this terminology called depreciations calculations or depreciation process and all. It is there, still it is there, but the only thing is like earlier people used to calculate manually. Right now what is happening, guys? Auto calculation is going to happen. Auto calculation in the sense, because we are using ERP, we are using software. So certain instructions we are going to, certain configurations we are going to do into SAP system, and based on that system is going to calculate depreciation automatically. So what is happening? Our work become easy, right? Now, so now here we are talking about like we have to do configurations. What configurations we are going to do, right? So the configurations we are going to do, say for example, the same thing like earlier, if you have to enter, if you are going to, let's suppose, enter a purchase related transactions, a raw material worth of 1 million rupees, or take example of like a very small amount, or what raw material worth of 10,000 rupees has been purchased from a particular vendor. So that transaction is going to be recorded manually in the purchase, what to say, purchase register. A finished goods worth of, let's suppose, some 50,000 rupees sold to a particular customer. So that is going to be recorded in the sales register manually. Now, what is happening? The same transaction is going to be recorded into SAP also, in the digital register, so-called in computer also, with the help of ERP. Which ERP, guys? We are going to use SAP. So the same transaction is going to be recorded into SAP also, right? So again, the same question is there in front of us. If you are going to record a particular transaction in SAP, are you going to record the transactions directly? No, multiple questions are there. If you're going to record a transaction, first of all, the question is, this transaction belongs to which subsidiary? Tata Motor or Tata Steel or Tata Chemical or any other? So the answer is, let's suppose, Tata Motor. So how? Tata Motor must be there. First of all, we have to set up this Tata Motor. We have to configure this Tata Motor, right? Subsidiary that you have to configure, because every time we are not going to type the name and all. It is one time setup. We have to set up this Tata Motor. We are going to configure this Tata Motor. This subsidiary is going to be set up into SAP. How that I'll show you guys. Now again, the next question is, so this is going to be set up, right? Again, the next question is, for which unit? Manufacturing unit or service unit, right? So that is also supposed to be there, so that if you post the transaction, then you'll be having options. You can select either Tata Motor or Tata Steel. You selected Tata Motor. Again, the next question is, for this transaction belongs to manufacturing unit or service unit. So again, this is also supposed to be set up into SAP. Then only we are going to select whether it is manufacturing unit or service unit, right? Next question is like, for which financial year, right? So this is also supposed to be set up into SAP. Again, for which period, in the sense for which month. So that is why we are going to do multiple settings, multiple configurations. Entire whatever settings I'm talking about, this is called configurations, right? So we are going to configure these all things. Okay, now one by one. So now what we have to do, guys? So we are having certain hierarchy will be there, right? At highest level something will be there, then after something will be there. Look at here, I'll show you here in the PPT. So what we are going to set up, guys, let's suppose these things, a simplest organizational structure I'm explaining here, because today itself if I'm going to explain the complex one and all, then lots of people will not be able to understand. Actually, guys, now whatever example I've quoted, whatever things I'm giving here, whatever things I'm trying to explain, right? When I started my training long back, I'm talking about 2008. So simply, the faculty simply, they started like, you have to create this company, you have to create company code, you have to create business area, right? So now, and even like multiple videos are there on YouTube and all, everywhere the people directly they are starting the creation of company code. But the question is, what for? What will happen if I set up this company code? Where is the use? What is the use? Based on what I'm going to decide, that how many company codes are going to be set up into SAP, right? Based on what I'm going to decide how many companies are going to be set up into SAP, right? These questions used to come in our mind, but the faculty, they used to say, no, this is how, the way I'm going to set up, you also have to do the same thing. This is what the procedure. But guys, this is not at all the procedure. Okay, without logic or without what to say this one, how can we do this configurations at all? So now here, so let's suppose here now at highest level, of course, first of all, Tata Group is there, right? In Tata Group is having multiple subsidiary, Tata Motor, Tata Steel, right? Again, Tata Motor, further we have segregated, like they are having manufacturing unit, service unit, right? Manufacturing is having several plants. Okay, so this plant related things we are going to discuss later, because that will be coming under a different module called MM module, right? So MM module, we are having like integrations with MM module, guys. A very unique session will be there in for this integrations, and all several session will be there on that. This MM integrations, not a single session, guys. Multiple sessions will be there. So we are going to discuss everything in details, right? Right now we are talking about these things we have to set up into SAP. First of all, Tata Group, we are going to set up into SAP. In the sense, we have to configure. So this is a group company, right? But in SAP, it is called as company. Group company is going to be called, in SAP language, it is called company. Okay, and whatever the subsidiaries are there, that is called company code. Keep in your mind, guys. In SAP, like once you become a consultant, like people will say that, okay, you just post a transactions for this company code, you post a transaction for that company code, right? So whatever company code means, what, guys? Company code represents the subsidiary of a particular group company. Okay, now under that subsidiary, again, this segregations, manufacturing or service, or it could be any other. There is no standard like this, only two segregations will be there, guys. So this is depends upon your experience and all. We are going to decide how many business area need to be created, or like business area people are saying that from like upcoming, like after few years, business area is going to be replaced by segment. So segment I have not kept here, because again we'll be having a different topic called news year. Okay, so there we'll discuss now. So how many business area is going to be set up, based on what we are going to decide, right? So first of all, I'll tell you guys, company we are going to set up. So if you talk about group company, Tata Group, Reliance Group, so of course one group company is there, so that is going to be set up. Okay, how many company code can be set up, guys? How many company code can be set up? So based on the subsidiaries of, based on the total number of subsidiaries under a particular group organization, right? So generally if the Tata Group, okay, let's suppose Tata Group, so here shortcut, Tata Group is having 4 subsidiaries. Tata Motor, right? So is having, like, let's suppose Tata Motor, Tata Steel and Tata Chemical. So it means one group company is there, and under that we are having 3 subsidiaries. So what is happening, guys? We are going to set up one company here, and then we are going to set up 3 company code. Okay, 3 company code. This Tata Motor, Tata Steel and Tata Chemical. Okay, so based on what company codes are going to be decided, guys, the one more criteria is there. Another criteria is, like, first of all, of course, subsidiaries will be there, right? See, other criteria will be like generation of financial statement. Financial statement means, see, if you talk about the financial statement of a particular organization, right? What is its financial statement, guys? The financial statement shows the financial health of a particular organizations. Based on financial statement itself, you guys are going to analyze whether this is a strong organization or weak organization, because based on financial statement itself, you will come to know the performance of the organizations, whether it is running under benefit or running under loss, right? So based on this financial statement, multiple investors. They are going to analyze the financial statement, and based on that, they are going to plan their investments and all, right? Okay. So now I was talking about financial statement. So financial statements. Now, if you talk about financial statement, guys, I told you like Tata Group is there, which is having 3 subsidiary, right? So financial statement of a particular organization is going to be generated at which level? Tell me, guys. This is one group is, let's suppose, level 1, and this subsidiary is level 2. So at number 1 level, in the sense group level or subsidiary level? Tell me, guys. Financial statement is going to be published or generated at which level?
Group level.
Okay, one by one. Now, who said group level?
Shivan.
Shiva. Okay. Now, anyone, any other? Subsidiary level. You guys, like, I'll tell you now, whenever you have to, I'll tell you now, if any small, like, let's suppose if I'm asking a question, right? If you have like answer in a single 1 word or 2 words, you can type a message so that I'll come to know, okay, who has, like, Vinod is saying 1, right? Josna is saying can be at both level, right? Renuka is saying company code level. Rizwan is saying both level. Okay. Ria is saying both level. Okay. Shamim is saying company code level. Okay, it means he is saying that subsidiary level, right? Tawfiq is saying both level. I'll tell you guys, now whoever is saying both level, where have you seen a profit and loss statement and balance sheet of Tata Group, guys? Is this a legal requirement? I'll tell you, most of you, in the sense 80% of this batch is from finance and account background, right? And that too, minimum BCom you guys have done, right? So it is a question mark on your education, guys, right? If you say both level, how come it possible? Like, is it a legal requirement to generate the financial statement for Tata Group? Or do you have, like, are you going to find anywhere that Tata Group is listed somewhere in the stock exchange? If you talk about the listing of an organization, guys, always it is going to be listed at subsidiary level. Have you found like Tata Group share price is this much? No. You'll be finding share price of Tata Motor. If you find the share price of Tata Steel or like whatever other subsidiaries are there, right? There might be a chances that Tata Motor, you may find like Tata Motor share prices went 5% up, whereas Tata Steel share prices went 5% down, isn't it? So now what is happening, guys? If the listing of an organization is there, like the subsidiaries are going to be listed in a stock exchange. So now if you have to publish the financial statement, are you going to publish the financial statement of Tata Group? If you are going to publish the financial statement of Tata Group, how people will come to know what is the performance of Tata Motor and Tata Steel or Tata Chemical? So generation of financial statement, let's suppose at Tata Group level, is not a legal requirement. Okay, internally, if the company management want to view the reports and all, that is their requirement internally, right? But legal requirement means government of India or government of any country is not saying that you publish the statement of Tata Group, right? In the sense, whatever the organization, if you talk about the listing of an organization, Tata Motor is listed, right? If you talk about the whatever the taxes are getting collected or whatever the taxes are going to be paid, those taxes are going to be paid by Tata Motor, by Tata Steel, by Tata Chemical, by Tata Hotel Group, right? It is not going to be paid by Tata Group and all, isn't it? So financial statement is going to be generated at this level. Agreed or not? If anybody is having anything to add here, tell me. Renuka is having a question. Tell me, Renuka, what is your question?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
So my question is similar to the explanation what you have given. While reading the theory part, I have read somewhere like creation of company is not necessary, but company code is a must. So is it something
Yes.
similar what you have mentioned now?
Yes, creation of company is not necessary. Why? Because I told you Tata Group, there might be a chances Tata Group maybe may not be. Tata Group is there in existence. We are saying Tata Group. Why? Because having multiple subsidiaries. Tata Motor is there, is one subsidiary. Tata Steel is another subsidiary. Tata Chemical is other subsidiaries, right? So it means, like, say for example, so multiple subsidiaries are there, right? So we are saying like, okay, Tata Group is there. Tata Group means they are having businesses in multiple different areas. Say for example, if there is only one Tata Motor is there, if Tata Motor itself only one organization is there, then how can we say it is a group company? It is not at all group company. Group company you can say only if it is having like more than one subsidiaries, right? So now if only Tata Motor is there, guys, then there is no group company. In that case, if there is no group company, then creation of, and I told you like group company equals to what? In SAP, group company is called company, and subsidiaries are going to be called as company code. Okay, here I'll just specify. Try to understand this thing, guys. It's pretty easy. Okay, and even if bit confusion is also there, I'll tell you that wait, from next session onwards the things are going to be quite easy, because enterprise structure sometimes it creates some confusions and all, but still I'm trying my best to explain. Okay, some of you is asking what is plant. I told you dear that plant is going to be discussed in a separate, because several sessions will be there on that, right? In a single session it is not possible to explain each and everything, and that too plant is organizational unit of a different module. Still we are going to discuss, okay, but in a different what is the session, that topic called FI MM integrations. Okay, so we'll discuss separately. Now here we are talking about group company, right? So let's suppose this group company in SAP language, it is called company, and whatever subsidiaries are there, that is called company code, right? So in this case, how many companies are going to be set up, guys? We are going to set up one company. And how many company codes are going to be set up? 3 company code. Okay. Now let's suppose if there is only one company called Tata Motor. There is no any other subsidiary. Simply Tata Motor is there. Okay. So if Tata Motor is there, guys, there is only one subsidiary. So what is happening? We need not to set up any company here. Simply we are going to create directly company code itself, right? Company code you must have to create. Why? Because at this level itself we are going to generate the financial statement. I'll tell you guys, whatever the subsidiaries are there, if it is a group organization also, right, whatever the subsidiaries are there. So at subsidiaries, in the sense for Tata Motors, Tata Steel, Tata Chemical, the financial statements are getting generated. So whatever the subsidiaries are there, that is going to be created as a company code. So company code must be created, right? Tata Group is, that is a company. If company is not going to be set up, guys, then we can't see the consolidated balances, like, okay, what is the total revenue got generated from all this subsidiary. But this consolidated figure, to see the consolidated figure, guys, this is the internal requirement, right? The government of India has nothing to do with like what is the total growth of Tata Group, right? They have to do with like what is the total revenue, or whatever the total revenue got generated by Tata Motor, Tata Steel, Tata Chemical. Based on that, whatever the taxes are going to be calculated, they are going to those things are going to be calculated, those things are going to be collected, but nothing, this like it has nothing to do with group. Okay. And also I told that if there is only one subsidiary, in the sense only Tata Motor is there, then where is the group? Group will be only if having 2 subsidiary. So creation of company is not the mandatory criteria here, but creation of company code, you must have to create a company code. Company code means this Tata Motor, Tata Steel, Tata Chemical, because at this level itself your financial statements are going to be published. And here once I start the practical, because most of you have already taken training from somewhere, right? So guys, those who have already taken training from somewhere, if you guys are able to remember, then if you are going to generate the financial statement, that is going to be generated for a particular company code itself, not at company code level. Sorry, not at company level. It is going to be generated at company code level itself, right? Those who is quite new for this one need not to be worried about. There will be a separate session on this financial statement, guys, on that topic. So we are going to discuss in detail. Now, Vinod is having any question? Is it related to company code, Vinod, or is like if a different question is there, then better to type your question. And once I finish these things, then I'll explain, because we have
No,
not
it's
started the
related
activities.
to this topic.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, say if there is only one subsidiary right now, which is Tata Motor. Okay, so we didn't create a company. After
Okay.
2 years, they start a new company called Tata Steel. So now it falls under group. So can we create company in the middle, or else it's better to
Yeah,
create?
of course, we can create. See, creation of company, right? It is not a mandatory criteria, right? But now what is happening? Only one company code we have set up. Later on, after 2 years, like they have entered in a new business and in a steel manufacturing, and also what is happening? For that, again, rollout is going to happen. If you guys are able to remember the first session, right? Rollout means starting a new, let's suppose having new business, and also again the rollout is going to happen for Tata Steel, right? So at that point of time itself, the company is going to be set up, right? And that too, it depends upon client. If the client is saying that yes, I want to see the consolidated report of Tata Motor and Tata Steel, then we are going to set up the company. If the client is saying no, I have nothing to do with these things and all, both are independent organizations in the sense like listed in the stock exchange separately, and also I want to see only the reports at Tata Motor and Tata Steel level only. So in that case, why to set up the company?
Okay, so company is used only to view the consolidated report of subsidiary.
Yes. To see the consolidated report, consolidated figure. So that is why, like what Rika says, she says like, okay, she read out somewhere that creation of company is not a mandatory, what is this one criteria, but creation of company code is must, right? Why? Because company code means Tata Motor is a company code, Tata Steel is a company code, Tata Chemical is a company code, right? So at this level itself, we are going to generate the financial statement. So at company code level, we are generating the financial statement, right? So if you talk about a complete organization, it's your company code, isn't it? Now, so now here what is happening? It's quite simple. Based on what we are going to define company, so group company, right? Based on like if group company is there, like we are going to define a company, right? Even like for this one, you need not discuss with the client also. If you want to set up, you can set up. If they want to use, they can use, or else leave it as it is, right? So, and it's a matter of hardly 1 minute. So even sometime what happens, like let's suppose, I'll tell you, I have done one implementations long back in the sense, say for example in 2015-16, okay, it was like a company name ID MC, okay, having only one subsidiary. But what I did, I created a company code with the same one, this IDMC as a company code. At the same time, I created one group organization also, group company also with the same name. Assuming that in future, if the IDMC is going to enter into a new big business and all, of course they have to go for rollout, right? So at that point of time, what is happening? It become a group company. So it got set up. I created in advance. Okay. But since it is a single organization, still like having only one, what is a subsidiary, in the sense only one unit is there, so there is no use of this group company. In future, if they are going to enter a new business and all, then the new company code is going to be created. At that point of time, anyway, the group company is going to be set up by consultant. So I set up in advance itself. Okay. Now, so how it is going to be set up, guys? How it is going to be set up in SAP? It's pretty simple, right? What you guys need to do. So anyway, most of you have already taken this training, so you guys might be knowing how to. So you guys have installed your SAP login pad, right? So you need to double click on this one, and once you double click, then like this, it is going to be appear, right? So here This description could be anything, guys. SAP FICO, anything. There is no any kind of, but this number is supposed to be, it must be same. Okay, this is what the server number. Okay, server number means, again, on this one also, guys, there is a logic in this. Not possible to cover in this session. Every organizations, like, because if you talk about this server number means what, guys? Every organization will have the unique server number. Okay, so now what is happening? It is a kind of, so based on this itself, what is happening? Like, if you talk about the database, Tata Motor or Tata Group is having like a single, let's suppose, server number, in the sense Tata Motor related, Tata Steel related, Tata Chemical related data are going to be stored in a separate database, right? SAP has just given a different database. Now let's suppose there is a different organization called Reliance. So for that, a different server will be there, guys. Their data are going to be stored to a different server, right? So now you just need to double click here to log in. Right now, don't think about this server and all, okay? And don't ask any questions related to this, because I haven't explained anything here, okay? So we are talking about, we are going to talk about enterprise structure. So what I said, like, we are going to set up company, we are going to set up company code. Company means group company. Company code means your subsidiaries, right? And then even further, subsidiary is also segregated, like they are having two businesses. So we are going to set up two business area also. How it is going to be set up, guys? First of all, you need to enter here your login ID and password. Keep always a simple password, guys, because every time if you are going to enter the wrong password, your ID will be logged, and in that case, it need to be reset. Okay, the password need to be reset. Here, this is what the first screen, guys. This is called the main screen, home screen. You can see, right? Multiple this you can find, like, this is called menu bar, right? Okay. Now this is called your we can say command box, where we are going to enter the transaction code. In the sense, certain command we are going to give, whatever what is the use of this symbols and all. This is automatically you guys will come to know. You guys are going to be expert, because once we start the configurations, we are going to make use of these all things, and you guys will come to know about these all things. Okay. Even like you'll be finding in most likely if you are familiar with the MS Word, Office, and also, you guys, what is the use of this one? This is called find, right? This is called find next, right? This is like, if you are going to scroll up, scroll down, these things are the use. Here, this is, look at here, log off, right? This is for back button. This is for cancel. So these things we are going to, this is for save button. We are going to see, you guys will come to know easily. Now here, what is happening, guys? So we have to do the configurations. Okay. Now, if you talk about the configurations and so configurations we have to do. First of all, we are going to configure this, then only the testing will be there. Testing in the sense, like, let's suppose, testing for what? What for we are doing this configuration, guys? We are doing this configurations for Tata Motor. Let's suppose this implementation is going to happen for Tata Motor. As I told you that at a time, it's not possible that we are going to do for Tata Motor, Tata Steel, Tata Chemical, same time. First of all, you have to implement this SAP for one organization, and then the rollout is going to be started. So say, for example, for Tata Motor, we are going to do this implementation. So all the configurations we have to do, right? And what for we are going to do the configuration, guys? Because if we do the configurations, then only the Tata Motor employees will be able to use this SAP, and they will be able to post their transactions. Instead of recording the transactions into physical registers, now they are going to enter the transactions into digital register here, right? Now, so what is happening here? We are going to do the configurations first. Okay, how to do the configuration, guys? So configurations means, here in this, you are going to give a command called SPRO. Okay, or else even you will be having options here also. Okay. Now you just expand this tools, and here somewhere you will be having, where it is, guys, in customizing, I think. Yes, IMG is there, and look at here, SPRO. Here we are having, you can execute, you can go through, double click on here, or else directly in command itself we can give SPRO and press enter. Okay, simply I said, like, okay, I entered /n. I'll just tell you guys, you just do one thing here, SPRO, and press enter. So what is happening, guys? We have given a command, and based on that, system is reacting. Okay, In the sense, I type SPRO, now one particular screen is appearing, right? Here you need to click on reference IMG, and now what is happening? Display IMG. Display IMG. IMG means implementation guide. So here you will be finding the implement, in the sense, configuration steps for all the modules. Okay, financial accounting is there. We are having like logistic is there. Apart from this, sales and distribution is there. Middle management is there. Controlling HR. Every module you will be finding all the modules you are going to find here itself. Okay, so now we are going to implement, let's suppose, finance module. Okay, now during integrations, what is happening, guys? Even we have to look some basic settings from SD module also, sales and distribution module also, MM module also. Those things we are going to discuss later. Okay, now here, so first of all, as I said, like we are going to do setting for, in the sense, we have to set up enterprise structure first, right? Because the very first question, when you post a transaction, the very first questions will be there, like this transaction is getting posted for what? For Tata Motor or Tata Steel, right? Again, for manufacturing unit or business unit, right? So these things are going to be set up. This is called enterprise structure. And apart from this, some more questions, that is called like for which fiscal year, right? For which, in the sense, for which financial year, for which period, in the sense, for which month. So these are the part of, like, we have to set up fiscal year, then we have to set up posting period, you have to set up field status, some more other settings will be there. That is called basic setting. Okay, that is also we are going to discuss in detail, guys. Very unique explanations will be there on those also. So right now we are going to, so altogether it is called enterprise structure and basic setting. Okay, so first of all we are going to have a look on enterprise structure. Now you just come here. So look at here. Here is the enterprise structure, guys. You need to expand. How you are going to expand? Look at here, this black color. You need to click here. Then first of all we have to define. We are going to define company. We are going to define company code. So here again you expand this definition, and then multiple modules are there, guys. We are going to, this company codes are the part of finance module. So you need to expand this finance module. First one, look at here. Here we are having define company. So from here you need to click on this watch kind of symbol, and then here you need to click on new entry, and then we are going to give all the details of data module, and then it is going to be set up. Then you need to save it, right? So now this is called, whatever steps we have followed, that is called path, right? This is called path. So let's suppose path, in the sense, what is the logic behind this path, guys? Let's suppose we are having certain destinations A, B, C. Okay, and so if you have to, let's suppose, so path means what? Let's suppose this is our, from this destination I'm going to start my journey, and I have to reach, this is our destination, final destinations where we need to reach, right? So you are having two way in the sense, like, let's suppose two things are there. How it is going to be? Let's suppose here either, so we'll do one thing. We are going to use, this is called roadway, right? Like from A to B, B to C, D, E, and then finally we are going to reach F. Or else even we are having other option called, right, via flight mode, directly from here to here, right? Okay, so this is called now by roadways, and then we are having flight mode. Okay, so now what is happening, guys? So I have seen, like, here from this destination to this, A to B, B to C, D, E, and then finally F. So now I have to set up a company into SAP. I have to configure a company into SAP, right? How I did? So first of all, what I did, guys, I'll just come back, click on coming back. Okay, come back. Now what I did, first of all, here in command box I have given SPRO, a kind of command I have given, press enter, and then we need to click on reference IMG. This is the second step. In third step, I have expanded enterprise structure. Fourth step, I have expanded this definition. In fifth step, I have expanded this financial accounting, and then I'm going to execute here on company. So that we have sixth or seventh step we have, right? So this is called path. Now even if you click on here, look at here, if you're going to click here, then one more new screen is going to be created. So I'm going to create one more screen. Okay, I'm going to create one more screen. Okay, so now, so through path, now if you have to go via flight, in the sense flight mode, right? So now we are going to use flight mode, is that is called like here through path. This is roadways, means that is called path, right? And flight mode, this is called with the help of transaction code. Okay, transaction code, in the sense directly what is happening, guys, instead of using this path, okay, we are going to use a transaction code. So here I have opened a next step, right? So here directly we are going to use a transaction code. So how to define a company, guys? OX15 is the transaction code. But if you press enter here, now you will be having a message that data is logged by my user ID itself. Why? Because in the same screen already I am there inside here. Here already I am inside, right? So first of all, I have to come back from this screen, and then only system is going to allow me to proceed further. So once again, OX15, and then I came inside here, guys. Look at here. So directly I came here. Now I'll tell you guys, there is lots of myth, in the sense like people will be confused. Some people says like it's best, what to say, this one practice to use path, it's best practice to use transaction code. I'll tell you guys, nothing is the best practice. It's always best practice to understand the logic. Neither path nor transaction code is going to make you a perfect consultant. Why? Because let's suppose I have mugged up 1000 transaction code. What does it mean? Like, can I say that I'm a perfect consultant? Not at all. I mugged up all the paths, whatever is there. It doesn't mean that I become a good consultant. We should know the logic, right? If we are going to do the basic, like let's suppose basic settings, multiple configurations, in upcoming sessions we are going to see. We are going to set up like account group. Okay, if you are going to, once we do the GL setting, like GL basic settings and all, or is account payable basic settings and all, or is account receivable basic settings. So we have to set up, like we are having a configuration called account group, right? Now what for we are going to do this configurations, what kind of control, what this account group is having, what kind of control is having, like account group is going to control what, right? Multiple such kind of questions will come in our mind. So you should know the logic. This is just a basic things which I explained, guys. There are multiple unique things which you guys will come to know, which you will never find anywhere, right? So now, so we need to know the logic. Neither path nor transaction code is going to make you a perfect consultant. Always the logic is going to make you a perfect consultant. So here what I said, like we are going to set up a company code. Sorry, first of all we have to set up a company, in the sense this Tata Group. So group company is going to be, in the sense group organization is going to be set up into SAP as a company. Then we are having subsidiaries, that is going to be set up as a company code. First of all come to SAP here and click on new entry, and then here we are going to, first of all, company name. Okay, in the sense like we are having Tata Group, right? If here name line 2 means what? If the same organization is having a very big name, right? So here every field is having certain restrictions, like let's suppose the length of only 40 digit or 30 digits, certain length will be there. I haven't counted here. Even you can count it very easily by space, putting a space and all. So like let's suppose the length is there in first company name. Let's suppose the length is 40 digits, and if the name is more than 40 digits, so whatever remaining things are there is going to be specified here in name line 2. Okay, now so this name we have given. Okay, apart from this, street address. So street address, let's suppose any details we are going to give. Okay, PO box number or postal code I'm going to give, let's suppose. Okay, so here, okay, now city, country. Okay, for country we are going to give a country code. For country we are going to give a country code. So for India it is IN, for US it is US itself. Likewise every country codes are available, guys. Okay, you can click on, this is called drop down box. This square step is there. If you click here, then all the countries, the list will be there here. whatever country you want to set up, those country code will be there. Okay, so for India it is IN, that is why I have given IN here. Okay, now language key. For English we are going to select EN. Okay, now even other language key also will be there. SAP is going to support few more language guys, and whatever language are going to be supported, those list will be here. Okay, this list will be here. You'll be finding this list and all. Okay, it doesn't mean that SAP is going to support like Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati. No, these languages are not there, but multiple other languages will be here. So always we are going to, guys, wherever we are going to do the configurations and all, always we are going to select English language itself. Now currency, whatever currency is there, so our currency is INR, we are going to select this INR. Okay, apart from this, you have to give a code here. Okay, what is the logic behind this code, guys? I'm going to explain, don't worry. So right now for Tata Group, let's suppose I'm going to give a code TTZRP. Okay, 6-digit length will be there of this code. 6-digit length will be there. Okay, so now in the sense maximum 6-digit code can be given, or else minimum 1 digit and maximum 6-digit code can be given. It could be numeric, it could be alphanumeric, it could be alphabetic. Anything is going to be accepted, guys. And if you press enter, then what is happening, guys? Nothing. There is, if this code is already used by somebody, because this server, this is online server, guys. So multiple people are doing practice. If somebody has given the same code already, then if you press enter, you will be having error that this is already existed. So simply we are going to change the code. We'll give a different code. Okay, so I've given TTZRP, Tata Group, a shortcut code I've given, right? And now then after, what you have to do, you need to click on save. It means we are going to save it. Now once you save, for you guys, what is happening here, a blank screen will appear. In the sense request also blank, description also blank. This is called transport request. Now guys, transport request is having again a separate story. Separate story means this all together is a separate topic itself, because transport request, there are several people, like if you go for interview, if somebody is going to ask the questions like how many type of transport request is there, you know, like how 2 types of transport request is there, customized and workbench, right? So how workbench is different than customized transport request, right? I'll tell you, 98% of the people, 97% of the people will not be able to explain this, isn't it? By reading out 2-line, 3-line Google definitions and all is not going to help you to understand these things until unless you have the practical exposure. Okay, so now I'm not going to explain transport request right now, guys. Just leave it as it is. Again, there is a separate explanations, because in a single session it's not possible to explain each and everything. So simply what you have to do, guys, right now what you have to do here, this is also blank, and this descriptions field also will be blank for you guys. So what you have to do, you need to click on create request. Click on create request. Okay, and click on short descriptions here in click on create request, and then here in short descriptions, whatever descriptions I'm going to give here Tata Motor, because I'm going to do configuration for Tata Motor. Okay, later on, once you are able to understand the logic behind the transport request, then you can give a different descriptions, right? As I told you that in a single session it is not possible to explain everything. So right now simply you need to give a short description, that is Tata Motor here. Okay, and then you need to click on save button. Click on save. So look at here, guys, once you click on save, then one request number is going to be generated. Okay, again there will be a question in your mind that what is the use of this request number and all. So as I told you, like this is the beginning itself, first session itself, from here itself we have started, right? So just wait for, you know, like upcoming sessions and all, you guys will be able to understand the logic. Okay, right now simply you do whatever I said, like simply you need to click on create and give your short descriptions, and then this number is going to be generated and you need to press enter. So now whatever configurations we have made, those configurations got saved, and it saved on a particular transport request. Okay, what is the use of this transport request, guys? That, as I told you, is going to be explained separately in a separate session. So what we have done, we have created our company. Okay, what next, guys? The next one is we have to set up our company code. Again, company code is also going to be set up in the same way. Either you have to use path or transaction code. I'll tell you guys, in my configurations, mostly I use transaction code. Even there are multiple transactions for which you'll be getting path also, like path also will be there. We use path also for certain transaction code and all. But once I share the configuration document, in that you'll be having path also, you'll be having transaction code also. Whichever you wish, you can follow. Either you want to follow transaction code, you can follow. Either, or you want to follow the path, you can follow, right? But always, whatever configurations we are going to do, you need to understand the logic, right? Instead of learning how to do, you need to learn why to do first. Okay. So now we have done this configurations for company, right? We have created our company. We have configured company. What next, guys? The next one is we have to set up company code. Under Tata Motor, subsidiaries are there. Tata Motor, Tata Steel, Tata Chemical. So Tata Motor is going to be set up right now. Why? Because as I said, like we are doing implementation for Tata Motor, right? So how it is going to be? So now we have to use a different transaction for company code that is called OX02. Most of you might be knowing these things because as I told that you have already taken this training from Summit, right? So we are going to use OX02. But if you are going to use OX02, if you are going to give OX02 here in command box and if you press enter, look at here, nothing is going to happen. Okay, why? Because already we are there in one screen. So from one screen, if you have to jump to a different screen, okay, so what is happening? Either you have to come to the home screen, click on back button. So here we came on home screen, and from here if you are going to use OX02, okay, even if you click on this drop down here, 15 transaction code will be in this history. You'll be having history of 15 transaction code. So let's suppose from here if you are going to select OX02, then it is going to work. Look at here, we came on company code, right? And from here if you have to jump to company screen, so if you are going to use OX15, it is not possible. Once again, you have to come to your home screen, right? And then you have to use OX15. Then you are going to. So how we are going to jump to the home screen? Either you need to click on back button, or else like you have to give /n shortcut command here, /n. Then also you are going to come, right? And then you can select your transaction code. And then you can go. So guys, now if you have to jump directly from one screen to other screen without going to the home screen, then what is happening, guys? You have to add here /n followed by your transaction code. So now we are in company screen. So from here you have to go to company code. So /n OX02. So directly from here we are going to jump to the company code screen, right? If you are in one screen and from there if you have to jump to a different screen, right? But what is your requirement? That this screen which should be as it is and a different screen supposed to be open. Then we have to use a transaction code called /o. Let's suppose /o and then OX15. Press enter. Then what will happen? This data is already blocked by some user. It's okay, no issues. Click on yes. So different screen got open. Okay. And even once you do the practice, guys, you will be having such kind of issues like data is blocked by those a particular user ID. So whenever you have these things, you just put a message in the group. I'll share you how to delete the lock if it is going to be locked by a particular user ID. We are having a transaction called SM12, so that is going to be used, right? So anyway, so now what is happening here? In company code screen, you need to click on inventory. Once again, here also we are going to give a code, right? A 4-digit code I'm going to give. So let's suppose the code I'm going to give here, TM00. Let's suppose TM00. I don't know whether somebody has created this code or not. I'll just give a TM00 code. Okay. And then here, Tata Motor, I'm going to give. City again, let's suppose New Delhi, here, country code, currency, and language. Okay. Now, why are we going to this Why are we going to give 4-digit code, guys? Can anybody explain the logic behind this? In SAP, always for every settings we are going to give some codes. Anybody? Easy to identify. Yeah, easy to identify, or else easy to enter, because if you talk about, like, let's suppose if you have to post a transaction, right? We are going to post a transaction. So in that screen, this transaction, okay, if the question is this transaction is going to be posted for which subsidiary, Tata Motor, Tata Steel, or Tata Chemical, so we are not going to write like Tata Motor. Okay, if the Tata Motor name is like 40 character, are we going to type all the 40 character manually? No. Instead of that, you are going to select, you are going to give a company code. What is your company code? It is TM00. It means Tata Motor. Okay. What is your company code? It is TS00. It means Tata Steel. What is your company code? It is TC00. It means Tata Chemical. Right. So you need not to type all the complete name and all. If you talk about the Chinese companies, will be having like name in 2 line, might be more than 40 characters, 50 characters and all. Or else multiple other companies are also there, foreign like French companies and all will be having like big name and all. Or else in India itself, let's suppose if some company is having like the name is like more than 40 characters. So we are not going to enter all the details. Instead of that, we are going to enter a code, that 4-digit code. So this is what. So that is why we have given. Now 4-digit is the length. In the sense maximum, the company code, you can give like maximum length of this code will be 4-digit only. Minimum 1 digit. In between it, you can give 1 digit, 2 digit, 4 digit. Generally people are going to give 4 digit itself, guys, most of the cases. Okay, so I've given TM000 and then Control S, save it. Once you save it, the new screen is going to appear. Here once again you can give all the details like Tata Motor, complete street address, phone number, fax number, whatever details are there is going to be given. Who is going to provide these details, guys? This is going to be provided by your client. If the address field, let's suppose, is big, I've given like, let's suppose Tata Motor, right? Here street address, so 1 2 3, let's suppose street. Okay, now postal code, I've given city. This is not a mandatory what is the things and all. In real time it is going to be given, but for you, what you have to do, guys, simply you have to give a company country code is mandatory. How you will come to know which detail is mandatory? So look at here, this, look at here in country field, what is happening? A kind of this check mark is there, check mark kind of symbol is there. So if you don't enter any details and if you want to skip entering this country code and all, and if you press enter, system will not allow you to proceed further until unless, look at here, fill in all required entry field. Okay, so what is happening? You must have to enter the country code. Okay, let's suppose if you talk about like address, if the bigger address is there, like let's suppose 3 4 line or 5 lines are there, so here you can expand. Okay, and then look at here, street 2, street 3, street 4, street 5. This is for like whatever complete address is there can be given. Now okay, so these details are going to be given. Okay, all the details are going to be given here, phone number, fax number, email ID, everything is going to be specified, all the details. Okay, now generally what is the logic behind this giving this address, guys, giving all the details, correct details, and that too phone number, fax number, everything? Why? Because whatever details we are going to enter later on in the sense like in this multiple settings we are going to do, multiple testing we are going to perform, right? So whenever we are going to sell something to the customer, then an invoice also need to be generated. So invoice, how it is going to be generated, guys? It is going to be generated with the help of SAP itself. Okay, for that again the invoice, like if you talk about the invoice, for that like whatever form is there, that is going to be developed by your technical consultant. How it is going to be generated again, what to say, like once the sales, whatever the sales is taking place, right? In sales also multiple steps will be there. Let's suppose I'm just try to assume, okay, we have sold something, so invoice is going to be generated with the help of SAP itself. right? So whatever invoice is getting generated, guys, on that invoice, company name will be there, right? Second thing, the address also supposed to appear, phone number, fax number, everything supposed to appear. So where these data are coming from, guys, these data will be coming from these area. Okay, I will not go in details because some of you might be confused also. So simply what is happening, either if you want to give these details, you can give it, or else the mandatory settings, in the sense you must have to enter the country code and then you press enter. Once you press enter, then look at here, the transport request this time automatically got generated. It means system is saying that, do you want to save this change, in the sense this second configuration also on the same transport request, or you want to create a different transport request? So I'll tell you guys, do not create a different transport request unless you know the logic behind that. So what I'm suggesting, save this setting also on the same transport request. So what you have to do, you have to press enter button. So now we have set up company, we have set up company code also, right? We have set up company code also. Now, so this, let's suppose I have created Tata Group as a, like the code we have given, like that is TTZRP. Okay, this is the code, and in that, like, company code I have created. Okay, let's suppose it is say for example TM00. This is my company code, right? So now, so this TM00, this is the company code, and this Tata Group, right? So this company code belongs to this group, Tata Group, right? It means this TM00 is subsidiary of Tata Group, right? That you guys know, even I also know. But how SAP will come to know that there is a relation between Tata Group and Tata Motor, right? Or there is a relation between this TTZRP and TM00. So for that, we have to link. You have to link the company with the company code. So what we are going to do, guys, how the linking is going to happen, for that a different transaction code will be there in shortcut. Either you can use path or this in shortcut transaction code we are going to use. So you have to use OX16. Okay, OX16, and here you need to click on position and give your company code. So our company code is TM00. Press enter, and against this, what is happening, I'm going to enter the company. So the company TTZRP. Okay, if you are unable to remember, then you can click on this drop down, and then here you need to find out where is the Tata Group. But multiple Tata Group has been created by people, right? So you can just do one thing, you can click on Control F and it says find, or else even you are having shortcut button. Look at here, this find. You click here also, the same screen is going to appear, and here I have given Tata Group. So you need to click on find. So here system suggested one. This is not mine. So what you have to do? Look at here, find again, the second one, plus symbol, right? Click on find next. This is not our. This is also not our. You click on find next. This is our. This is mine, which I have created. So double click. This is how you will be getting, right? And Control S, or else click on save. So again, system is saying, do you want to change? Do you want to save this configuration also on the same transport request? As I said, we are not going to set up a new transport request unless we know the logic behind this. We know the perfect logic. So just press enter. What we have done, guys, we have created our company, we have created our company code, and we have assigned the company with the company code, right? We have linked the company with the company code. Okay, this is how system SAP will come to know that there is a relation between Tata Motor and Tata Group, right? Now, okay, now what is happening? The next one is, like, let's suppose here. So under Tata Motor, like, we are having two different areas are there, like manufacturing and service. Okay, so as I said, like, there is a So what client wants, like they want like whatever revenues are getting generated against manufacturing, let's suppose units, that also suppose like they want to see a different separate report for that. In a simplest, what to say, I'm just going to quote a simplest scenario, guys. Multiple things will be there, but right now in a single session, as I told you, everything is not possible. Once we proceed further, slowly, I'm going to increase the level, guys. This is how you guys are going to be expert. Okay, so now here, so let's suppose there are two units, manufacturing and service. From both they are generating revenue, right? So now these two we are going to set up in the form of business area. Okay, there is one more thing, guys. Segment is also there, guys. Again, behind that also logic is there, but as I told you that it is not possible to cover. There will be a particular topic called UGL, so there I am going to explain the logic behind this segment. Right now what we are going to do, this manufacturing unit and service unit is going to be set up in the form of business area. So how it is going to be set up, guys, in SAP? So we are going to use a transaction code for this one, OX03. So again, /n OX03. Why? Because from one screen to other screen we have to jump, right? So press enter. And here click on new entry and you can give business area. So business area means, let's suppose here descriptions we have to give, and here 4-digit code you need to give. Let's suppose I always give TMAN. Let me check whether somebody has already used this code. And for manufacturing, I used to use TMAN and TSRB. Whatever code I have given doesn't mean that you are also going to use the same code. You have to give a different code. You just assume that for you it's not Tata Motor. You can set up a company by your name itself, right? Business area is going to be a different code you have to give, because whatever I have used, it is already saved into SAP. So same code if you are going to use, then it is not possible, right? You have to give a different code. So for manufacturing, I have given a code TMAN, and for service I have given TSRV. And if I press enter, let me check. It is already used. In the sense, somebody has already used. But anyway, you can give a different code here, and for service different code, and here in description box you can write the descriptions, in the sense manufacturing business area and service business area. Look at here. I'll just click on cancel. Yes. So look at here. Even you guys came to know what is the use of this. What is the use? This is what, like, we are coming back. If you click on here, we came back, right? And then this manufacturing and service is already created by somebody. We are going to use that itself. I'm going to use that itself. You can click on new entry. You can create your one. Okay. Click on position and look at your TMAN. So this is already created, right? And TSRB. I think it is created by me itself for a different company code. Okay. So now these two business area is already set up. Again, there will be one more question in your mind, that this business area got set up, right? So now, as per rule, the way we have assigned our company with the company code, right? In the same way, this business area is supposed to be assigned, in the sense the assignment has taken place, linking has taken place between these two. So likewise, this business area also supposed to be assigned with the company code. There should be some link, right? So I'll tell you guys now. Here bit confusion will be there, but again, right now I'll tell you. So business area is not going to be assigned with the company code. There is a logic behind that, guys. Okay, business area is not going to be assigned with the company code. Now, why it is not going to be assigned, guys? So again, in that also certain logic is there, right? And that is going to be explained. There will be a separate topic later. I'll explain. I'll cover, right? That is called the difference between client level setting and company code level setting. So once I cover that topic, then I'll explain these things, the logic behind this business area and all, right? So there you'll be having a detailed, what to say, understanding, like why business area is not going to be assigned to the company code. Right now, what we have done, guys, in this session, we have set up our company, we have set up our company code, we have set up the business area. Okay, how it is going to be set up, that I have explained, right? And based on what logic it is going to be set up. So always, guys, as I told you, here I have quoted the example that whatever group organization is there is going to be set up as a company, right? Subsidiaries are going to be set up as a company code. Under that particular subsidiaries, whatever the segregations are there, that is going to be set up in the form of business area. It is going to be set up in the form of segment. It is going to be set up in the form of further other enterprise structure settings also will be there, guys, right? So this is going to be decided based on your experience, isn't it? Initially, like a senior consultant, of course, because they'll be having, if you talk about, they will be able to visualize, their visualization power will be far, what to say, more compared to you guys, right? So we will be able to identify that, okay, how many business area is going to be set up, how many segments, or else how many segments are going to be set up, right? Or else, as I told you, a few other things are also there. So now, so here what we have done, but again, it is not possible to explain in a single session. That is why I have just covered this much. In enterprise structure, like we have defined company code, and business area, right? Again, in next session, what is happening, guys? I'm going to start the basic setting. Okay, that is also very interesting. Multiple, things we are going to have a look in basic setting also. First of all, the logics, and then we'll explain the configurations. Okay, so now what we have done with the configurations, guys. Okay, and basic setting is going to be discussed in the next session. Okay, so that's all in this session, guys, and that's all for today. Let me pause the recording, and then you guys can ask your question one by one.